Hey guys, it's so hot out, I figured I needed heat in my car, so I decided to put the heater core in. Check it out next. Hey guys, been a minute. Out here, it's dark, it's cold. I hate winter, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to put this heater core in right quick. The first thing I gotta do is loosen these two little hot fittings up, take them off, and get this out of the way. I cut it before and just looped it around just because it was busted, just to get the car drivable. And it needs fixed right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a wrench and stick on those and take them loose, and I'll crawl in the car and pull the core out. All right, so it's a 3/8, and you know, loosen it up. Get that gear on there. All right, them two are off. Had to take a box cutter, split the lines, get them off. They're just stuck on there too good. Probably been on there since the car was new. So let's go on inside here. And all I've got is my little light right now, so it ain't the best. Got a big healthy cam right there. But anyhow, and core lives right here. How it comes out is something I gotta figure out. All right, so here's the core. So I'm hoping it just have to take those two bolts out right there, and that panel comes up, and that's how we get to it. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot more work. But that looks like where it sets at. So I'm going to try to take those two bolts out first and see what happens. Alright guys, so we're getting back on 72 here. And the stereo stuff is actually in. We're going to start on it. There is one thing I got to do before I do the stereo stuff. And I'd started filming it already. A while back and started taking it apart already, so I'll combine these two videos, or combined all this footage, make one big video. But I've got to put the heater core in this thing because, like I said, I don't have no heat. When I have no heat, I had no vents, so it's not that big a deal. I know in the summertime not to have heat, but it is to not have vents, so I need to go ahead and put it back in right quick. Now these ducts, I was going to buy them, and I really couldn't find anything any different. So I'm probably just going to put these back in after all. Just trim this up a little bit. And I may put some like zip ties or tape on it to hold it. And these seals, I might put some tape, probably some electrical tape or something on them just to hold it together. I really couldn't find these at all. I probably could make something like that, but how many times am I going to be in here taking this heater core out? So don't jinx myself, I know. And then that's the speaker. I'm going to take this bracket off this speaker and use it to make the new bracket. But first things first, I need to get in here, figure out how this comes out, and change this heater core out in here. So let's get at that. Now guys, I'd already filmed the dash pad removal in an earlier video when we were doing the stereo. It was actually last week's video, so I'll put a link to that right now where you can see it. if you want to go back and watch how to take the dash pad off. You can actually do these heater cores without the dash pad, but it is removal, but it is much easier to take the dash pad off. So I recommend doing that because it's not that many bolts to take it off. All right, so this duct just lifts out. Apparently there was a tab that holds it right there, and it just lifts out. So, and I still don't see the heater core, so, but it should be right in here somewhere. I don't know, this is like a big puzzle. Not a very fun one at that. I don't know what that is. Is that the light for the glove box, maybe? Maybe. Really not sure what this big box is. Or what it goes to. Okay. There's all kinds of crazy stuff in this car that I really don't know what it is. So anyway, that duct's out of the way. So where is the heater core at now? There's the vent. Yeah. So, and here is some foam that is destroyed. You just take this out. That's your blend doors. Like there's the heater core. Okay. So now we got to figure out how this guy actually drops out of here. So, I'm guessing this bolt, and then there's a bolt down there for a duct, and then maybe this will drop out. I'm not sure. I've got a yep. Anyway, we'll take these two bolts out and see what we get. I bet you that's where it comes loose though. So up under here I found another, I think it's a, I don't know what size it was, 7/16 bolt. And I believe that's holding that in. So I'm gonna try to take it out and see what happens there. It's just like a big puzzle piece, really. All right, now I'm taking the vents out right here. And I'm just using a trim tool to pop them down. This one was a little bent. Get over and get this side out. And I can tool this vent down. Maybe I can see a hidden bolt back in here, because right now I can't find any more bolts. I've got this one here, but as you can see, that don't really touch the heater core. So the only other place they can be is either on this side or back behind this. So it looks like it raises up from the bottom anyway, because there's a spring clip or a tab, a metal tab more or less, that comes out of there. So let me climb this side, pop this vent out, and see if we got something behind it. All right, so trying to figure out where the rest of them are, the bolts that came out, and I figured them out. I actually used the guide that the guy had put on V8 Buick to help me along a little bit. Still, it's a lot harder to understand it, but they're under the hood. You see right beside those two little ports there beside that vacuum booster, there's one of the bolts, and I think there's another one right here that holds the evaporator core, also holds that in. So let's pull that out, those two bolts out, and see what we get. All right, they're just them little like fender nuts, speed nuts, whatever they're called, that General Motors used forever. I don't see any more. They could be holding it. It says you have to move this vent duct too, but there's no bolts under it, so I'm not sure why I would need to move it unless it's just in the way. So let's see if we got any movement now. Man, that's still solid as bark on a tree. I don't get it. All right, I've got movement now. There must be something still behind this vent. So let me try to get it out here. It's gonna be hard to get out because I gotta get behind all that back there, but let me see if I can bend these tabs so I can get this out. All right, I got the vent loose. It's actually easier than I thought on this side, but I've still got a bolt holding something, so I've got to figure out what's holding what. And it's got to be over here, but what can it be? I don't know. me get some light on this and see what I got. All right, guys, I found it. Under that nut, there's another one. It's kind of dark down in there, but it's right there. It comes off too. So let's see if that pulls. See, now I can pull this box out and get to it. See what happens. Ooh, it's full of water. Alright, so the box is loose. I think I've just got the controls up here holding it. There we go. Heater core is out. So it was just hung up on itself. Okay. And probably need to see if I can flip it around without taking this all apart. I don't want to take this cable off if I can help it. So let's see what we can do. Oh, they sure could have made this easier. Well, good news is I think the AC evaporator core is in good shape, other than one little ding. So hopefully that don't leak. I'm going to pressure check it and see, but you can get to it at least outside the car. Okay, so that's pretty bad. That's tore. I'm going to try to just take some black duct tape and go over all these and wrap them real good. Seems like it would hold in insulation better and make them work better. We'll see. Alright, one thing I had to do, that must just be an adjuster for this cable. But I'm going to take this cable loose. So there was a little, like, I don't know what they're called. They're like a washer, but they clamp too, holding that. So take this bolt out. This whole box should come out of here. And there is the nasty culprit. Also, when I was unplugging this little diaphragm right here broke. This vacuum diaphragm. So I'm going to figure out what that one is and get another one of them while I'm at it. It's brittle. The plastic just fell off me trying to unplug it. Alright guys, I had some issues with the audio here, but here was the core. It was absolutely destroyed, rotted out, looked terrible. And then you could see down in here that it was absolutely just gross down in here where I don't know if that was the rubber seal or some kind of caulk they'd put it down in there, but it was just absolutely nasty. And I just had to take it apart. So here I took the core out and decided to go ahead and take everything apart. I just pulled this metal piece out. It had rusted a little bit way in the bottom and everything. It was pretty bad. I vacuumed everything out too. Again, I'm sorry about the audio. I don't know what happened with that, but took the box apart and decided to clean everything up in there. I had to take the fitting off the top that controls the blend doors. Everything was just bolts holding everything together, so it's pretty simple. Alright, so I hit it with some black spray paint after I cleaned it up with the flap disc, and just to look a little better, just to seal everything so it wouldn't rust anymore. And then I put it back together. So the heater core just sits in there like that, and there is a little piece of foam that goes down in there. And what I use for that piece of foam, you'll see right here, I went and got the piece off where they'd sent that Oxido light to me, the scrap piece that I decided to save. I used it to use as a filler piece under the heater core, like so. And it made a perfect foam gasket for it to not rub and everything. This little vacuum pod here, when I was taking it loose, trying to unplug a vacuum line, the whole top of it just severed off like it was cut. It was held in with 2 speed nuts, 3/8 inch. I just unbolted it. I've got it over here. I'm trying to epoxy it. Hopefully it'll hold back together because the replacement's about $70. So if this one will hold, we'll do that. If not, we'll go ahead and order the piece tomorrow. But right now it is sitting over here drying, so we'll get that done. All right, you can see everything here that I epoxied up. It's still drying and everything. I've got the piece of trim that goes on the dash. It chipped a little right here, and then it had that crack in there when I took it loose. And then here's the vacuum pod. So they're all epoxied up. Wasn't gonna make this a 2-part video, but end up that piece kind of set me back and everything. So I'm probably gonna see if that works. If not, we'll just buy the part tomorrow. But we'll see what it does in the morning. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm up to 250 subscribers. Hopefully we can get all this done. We'll get on the stereo stuff next week. I had to get this done before I could get the stereo in. And so we'll have all that. And it's going to be in a couple parts. I'll probably do the front of the car, like where the dash and all that stuff and the head unit goes then. And then we'll get in the trunk and do the speaker box and the amps and the 6x9s back there. Sorry about the audio. I don't know what happened there. It was working fine, then all of a sudden it quit. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Like I said, 250 subscribers, trying to keep growing. But if you can, just keep sharing, subscribing me. I appreciate y'all a ton. And right now it looks like I'm rigging something up, so you do the same.